public comment period. I did not have anyone sign up ahead of public comment. Is anybody that's out there in the gallery wishing to address the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee during the public comment period? All right, seeing none. We will jump into our agenda. I have a single item contemplated to not be on our consent agenda. This is committee item 17. This is BL 2025-906. Are there any other items that committee members wish to pull off of consent for comments, discussion, questions, anything? Looking at the front row here, the usual suspects and heads shake. Okay. Okay, well, if something comes up after I read them, then you can pull them then. All right, so I'm going to begin reading the proposed consent agenda, and then I'll see if anybody wants to pull additional items off. So here we go. For the proposed consent agenda, we have committee item 1. This is resolution RS 2025-1379 by Porterfield, Parker, Huffman, and Allen. This is a resolution approving Tranche Amendment 2 between the Tennessee Valley Authority, Nashville Electric Service, and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County for the purchase of renewable energy. Committee item 2, this is RS 2025-1397, a resolution classifying public roads in Davidson County, Tennessee by Parker. Committee item 3, this is RS 2025-1398 by Coop Gamble and Parker, a resolution authorizing 804 14th Avenue North to construct and install an aerial encroachment at 804 14th Avenue North. Committee item 4, this is RS 2025-1399 by Coop Gamble and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing Grand Ole Opry LLC to construct, install, and maintain an aerial encroachment at 116 Rep. John Lewis Way North. Committee item 5, RS 2025-1400 by Coop Gamble and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing 205D Owner LLC to construct and install an aerial encroachment at 205 Demonbreun Street. Committee item 6, this is RS 2025-1401, a resolution authorizing 300 Broadway LLC to construct, install, and maintain an aerial encroachment at 300 Broadway, and that's by Coop Gamble and Parker. Committee item 7, this is RS 2025-1403 by Taylor, Gamble, and Parker. This is a resolution to amend ordinance number BL 2023-32 to authorize the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept fewer linear feet of new water and sanitary sewer force main, and to update map and parcel information for property now located at 3120 Torbett Street. Committee item 8, this is RS 2025-1404 by Evans, Gamble, and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing sanitary sewer force main and to accept new public water and sanitary sewer force mains and fire hydrant assembly for 2 properties located at Stewart's Ferry Pike, unnumbered, also known as the Cove. Committee item 9, this is RS 2025-1405 by Cap, Gamble, and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon an existing fire hydrant assembly and to accept a new public water main and fire hydrant assembly for property located at 1201 Gallatin Avenue, also known as Whataburger. Committee item 10, this is RS 2025-1406 by Cap, Gamble, and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public sanitary sewer manhole for property located at 522 Russell Street, also known as East End UMC. Committee item 11, this is RS 2025-1407 by Gamble, Parker, and Vo. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public water main and fire hydrant assembly and to accept new public water main and fire hydrant assembly for property located at 1425 4th Avenue South. Next we have committee item 12, RS 2025-1408 by Stiles, Gamble, and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assemblies, and sanitary sewer manholes for property located at 12782 Old Hickory Boulevard, also known as Mill Ridge. Next, we have committee item 13, RS 2025-1409 by Harrell, Gamble, and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public water main and to accept new public water and sanitary sewer main, fire hydrant assemblies, and sanitary sewer manholes for 3 properties located at 3807 and 3817 Hamilton Church Road and Hamilton Church Road, unnumbered. Committee item 14, this is Resolution RS 2025-1410-1410 by Toombs, Gamble, and Parker, a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing fire hydrant assembly and to accept new public water main and fire hydrant assembly for property located at 3200 Whites Creek Pike, also known as Production Row. Committee item 15, this is RS 2025-1411-1411 by Coop and Gamble and Parker. This is a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public water main and fire hydrant assembly and to accept new fire hydrant assembly for two properties located at 201 Broadway and Broadway Unnumbered. Committee item 16, a resolution RS 2025-1412-1412 by Hancock, Gamble, and Parker, a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public sanitary sewer manhole for property located at 1017 Pierce Road. Next, we have committee item 18. This is BL 2025-950 by Gamble and Parker. This is an ordinance authorizing NRAD Centennial Development I or 1 LLC to maintain an underground and above ground encroachment at 5701 Centennial Boulevard. Lastly, we have committee item 19. This is BL 2025-951 by Taylor, Porterfield, Gamble, Parker, Allen, Gadd, and Welsh. This is an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, authorizing by and through the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewerage Services to enter into an agreement with Fisk University to provide improved green stormwater infrastructure through the construction of a green roof. All right, having heard all the proposed consent agenda items, do any items need to come off for questions, concerns, comments, discussion, just to make the meeting go a little longer, if that's what you're into? Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
I am not into long meetings, but I do have a question on RS 2025-1379, which is like 1 or 2 or 3.
Copy. So that's item 1. We'll remove item 1 from consent. Any other items committee members wish to remove for questions, comments, discussion, anything like that? Okay, could we get a motion on the proposed consent agenda? All right, properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the proposed consent agenda? All right, seeing none, we will go to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, thank you. Let me go through and update our quorum numbers here. All right, we recommend approval of the consent agenda, 9 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting. And with the consent agenda approved, we will go to our first item that was not on consent. That is committee item 1, RS 2025-1379. This is the TVA agreement for the purchase of renewable energy. We've already read the full caption, so could we get a motion and a second on this resolution, please? All right, properly moved and seconded, and I will go to Councilmember Allen for recognition. Any questions, comments, discussion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I had just sent some questions out about this earlier, and Director Abkovitz is nice enough to be here, so if she doesn't mind just explaining about this TVA Green Power Amendment and why this tranche is more expensive than the last one.
You are recognized. If you'd please introduce yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Kendra Apkwitz. I'm Senior Director of Sustainability and Resilience within the Mayor's Office. And so just as some context, this tranche amendment is the third amendment that we've actually made on this particular agreement. This project goes back to 2020 during the prior administration, where Metro committed to partnering with the Tennessee Valley Authority, Nashville Electric Service, Vanderbilt University, and a few others to invest in a TVA Green Invest utility scale solar project. Actually, in 2023, we had to revise that tranche amendment again. In the original utility scale solar agreement, we had subscribed for 100 megawatts of renewable energy in the form of solar. In 2023, Tennessee Valley Authority came back to us and said we need to revise that tranche agreement for 2 reasons. One is we have to push back the interconnection date and the date that the solar array will go into operation. due to some constraints that they have experienced in the National Environmental Policy Act process. So it did turn out that when they did their environmental assessment and reviews, they were actually required to do a complete environmental impact statement to fully document the impacts that would occur on the site, and then also mitigate for those. So it pushed back the date of interconnection, but also the price for renewable energy credits just about doubled. And that pricing, at the time, we actually did a pretty robust analysis to understand whether or not this pricing was unique to this particular installation, or if it was something that we were seeing industry-wide, and it was actually an industry-wide impact. And so in 2023, Council actually approved updated pricing in an agreement. We then sent that agreement that had been signed by NES as well as Metro back to TVA. TVA did not sign it because they actually had to push the date of connection back another few months. And so the only difference in this particular tranche amendment is that we're pushing the date of connection back several months. The pricing doesn't change. I should go back and clarify that in 2023, when the pricing for renewable energy credits changed, because we were at the very end of an administration, we made the decision to honor the same financial commitment that Council had agreed to. What that meant is because the price of renewable energy credits had roughly doubled, we decreased our subscription. So instead of subscribing to 100 megawatts, we decreased our subscription to 40 megawatts. So what you would be approving today is that same agreement that was approved in 2023, same pricing, $3.08 per renewable energy credit for 40 megawatts, and then the date of interconnection and operation of the installation would be roughly a few months later.
Well, thank
Is
you
that
for that.
helpful? Any questions or additional questions?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's very helpful.
Thank you for that detailed explanation. Any other questions, comments on this one? All right, seeing none, we already have a motion. So all those in favor of resolution RS 2025-1379, please say aye. Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, recommend approval 9 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting. Lastly, we have bill on second reading. This is BL 2025-906 by Parker, Porterfield, and Hill, an ordinance amending certain sections of and subsections of chapters 2.62, 12.56, 13.02, 13.08, 13.20, and 13.32 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws to allow the Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, NDOT, to increase its permit and administrative fees over time as necessary. And so we don't really need a motion on this if it's going to be, okay. So just for some context, this, NDOT did a pretty thorough fee study with a contractor recently. You can find that in your inbox if you search for NDOT fee study. It's probably also on our study collection on the Council Resources webpage. It's also attached to the legislation if you'd like to find a very easy copy of it. There's been various folks have asked that we take a little bit more time to do some engagement with stakeholders on this. And so I will be withdrawing this legislation on the floor tomorrow, but I expect it to be back in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. But I will be withdrawing it, so I don't think we need to make a further recommendation as a committee. Okay. Director Darby says we do not. So that's all we have on our agenda for today. Councilmember Allen, you recognize?
Might I ask one question?
Yes, please.
I'll make it quick. I appreciated the summary that was sent that had sort of the what we used to cost and I mean what our fee has been and what it currently cost us to do that work and then what we recommend raising it to, and that was very helpful. If they come back with another summary, could we ask that they also include in that summary some of the benchmark information? Because that was helpful, but you had to dig through the whole report to find it. So just when it's going to come back, if we could get that request in there.
Could you clarify what you mean by benchmark information?
There were, within the sections where they talked about how they calculated the cost to implement that permit, it said, and in certain other cities, their current fees are such and such, and their current fees, that was useful information, but it would have been handy to have just a range of what those benchmarks were also included in the summary.
Thank you. Is that, does NDOT wish to address that, or is that satisfactory? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion on that? All right, seeing none, well, that's our agenda. I don't have any specific chair updates or reports for us this meeting. Does anybody have anything germane to the committee that they'd like to share with us? Councilmember Ellis, you are recognized.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So, given what has transpired there at the state within the last week, are you, as the chair of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, doing any sort of investigation or outreach, or have you received information or any knowing around this tunnel project? Just trying to check your pulse on that.
So nobody's reached out to me about the tunnel project. It's my understanding that they're pursuing a approval process through the state rather than through Metro. So I haven't heard anything from any of those folks. No.
Got it. And so as the chair of this committee, do you have any concerns with the administration having known, according to news reports since 2024, that this was going to happen, or the potential for it?
Do I have concern? I don't know that anybody has known that this was going to happen. I think that it's reported that there were some initial conversations between the administration and this group. But no, I don't have any concerns about how the administration has handled this.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Anything else? All right. Thank you, members. That'll conclude our meeting.